What's up, DVU? Day 266, man. Getting up there. Almost 365. We're going to be close. It's actually pretty funny. When I get to 365, I'll be in the middle of baseball season at Cornerstone. So they'll get to celebrate with that me. Celebrate that with me. I don't know why I said with that me. Getting tired, I guess. But today was good, man. Was hanging around the house for a little bit earlier. And then had velocity tonight, so I went out and helped out my boy Tyler Brister. We went out to the new location we're having at now. It's right off of Vets, over by I think over by like the Chase Bank in that area, kind of down past Cleary in a little way. So, but if you want directions how to get there, I'll be sure to let you know if you ask. But so anyway, went over there. Service went till 7. We usually got to be there about 4:30 for rehearsals, setup type stuff. And so me and him just felt like, get over there at 3:30, just check the place out and make sure everything else is running smoothly, and make sure everything's fixed up and ready to go. So anyway, we headed out there, and it was pretty cool, man. First time being in the building. He's been there already. He's kind of showing me around. Nice little setup, man. Stage is cool, and the lighting, we fixed out the lighting pretty good. So it's got a nice little dim light kind of feel to it, so it's pretty nice. And then, so anyway, we were just checking the sound and wiring everything up. And they had what's called a djembe, which is like, you ever seen those kind of Congo drums that people kind of sit and then they kind of play like that? Yeah, well, they had one of them there. I don't know if it was ours, it was Pastor Dave's, or if it was the other church. But anyway, they had it there, and I've never played on one of those before. So I was kind of playing around. Those things are fun, man. So it turned out for service, we ended up going through rehearsals. I was playing the box and the djembe on one hand and the other hand. So I was double teaming it, man. It was good. So it sounded really, really good doing that too. So in fact, I'm gonna ask tomorrow at C20 if somebody's got one of those, in the storage room. I'm gonna go ahead and see if they can just bring it up there, because it was such a nice sound. So especially with adding the box and that at the same time, so it was pretty cool. But service was good. Pastor Dave gave a good message. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed talking to my buddy Tyler. Me and him, I'm gonna miss him, man. When I leave Thursday, I definitely miss him and a lot of other people around there. So, but it was all good. I got one more velocity. That's next Wednesday. It's going to be my last one. And then C20 tomorrow is going to be my last one also. Definitely gonna be missing that. And it's been such a joy and a pleasure and an honor to be able to play for them, and such fun just to be able to be a part of that. An uplifting thing to go to. So while I'm gone, if you want to be hanging out with some really cool Christian people, if you want to be around some awesome godly men and girls, definitely go to that. 7 o'clock over at Church of the King. Great experience. You're going to have a good time. But so anyway, I got a verse for y'all tonight. But before I get to the verse, I got a big announcement, right? Got a glove in today. All right, here's the old one. There goes a baseball. Old glove, right? Cool little TPX Louisville Slugger, Silver Slugger series, right? That's the old one. Here's the new baby. Ooh, look how clean that is. Yeah. Nice, right? So excited I get to break this in. Break it in tomorrow a little bit. Throw it with somebody, a friend. And then I'm also going to break it in until I go up to Cornerstone. Then I hopefully start using it. But I already got my verse on there. We got Psalms 18:29. That's my verse I put on all my gloves. It's a pretty cool verse that just kind of speaks to me. It's a short verse. Y'all go look it up. But I just kind of give you the overview of kind of what it says. It says something in the beginning like, God gives me the strength to run through people. But I like the part of the verse that says, He gives me strength to scale walls. And me being an outfielder, I got a wall every time I go deep. If I'm trying to shag one in the gap, I got a chance of robbing somebody at the wall. So you know what? God gives me the strength to scale a wall and rob you home runs, baby. So anyway, I like that verse a lot, so it really kind of sticks out to me. But anyway, the verses of the day, we got some good ones. We got, for our proverb of the day, we got Proverbs chapter 8. Today's the 8th. We're going to read the 8th chapter with verses 35 and 36. Some good stuff here. It says, "For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. Whoever fails to find me harms himself, and all who hate me love death." The beginning part of the verse is talking about, if you find God, you find life. You get a new experience. It's like it's such a change from what you've been going through, living in sin and living without Christ. It says you find life. It's like receiving new life. It's a whole new feeling and a whole new perspective we have on things. And you receive favor from the Lord when you come to accept Him and find out who He really is. Second part of the verse says, "But whoever fails to find me harms himself." If you haven't found God yet, if you haven't accepted Him in your heart, obviously things are going to be kind of rough. It says you're going to harm yourself. harms himself. So I don't know if that's actually hurting yourself or that your life is going to be kind of full of some tough things. So I don't want to go through life, going through tough things. Yeah, you're going to have it, but hey, I'd rather have a person who gives me life and gives me favor for believing in him and honoring him in all I do. And the second part of the last part of the verse, it says, and all who hate me love death. Obviously, I don't hate God, and I hope y'all don't either. But if you do, and that just means you love death. If you're hating God, you're saying you're hating the light of the world, you're hating the life. He is the way, the truth, and the life. If you hate that, then obviously the only thing you can love is death. And if you love that, you just messed up. So you need to read that verse again and again and again and again. But anyway, the verse I want to talk about tonight, Matthew chapter 28, verses 18, 19, and 20. Some good stuff here. It says, this is Jesus talking to the disciples. The title of this kind of little portion is called the Great Commission. Obviously the 11 disciples, they went to Galilee, and Jesus told them, then to go. This is what he's telling them to do. It says, by all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. The verse is such a strong verse because it talks about, God's gotten all the authority in heaven and on earth. And he's been given that. So he has authority to tell us what to do. And he's got the authority that we should listen to what he has to say. He's the one. He's got the authority now to do that. And so anyway, it talks about, therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's talking about, that's what he's telling us to do. It says, therefore go. It's not therefore, think about this, therefore tell somebody else to do that. It's saying go. You need to go make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's what we're called to do. We're here on life, obviously, with a purpose. He's given each and every one of us a goal and a purpose to follow in our lives. But above all else, we're called to be disciples. We're called to go out and reach to others and make them followers of Christ. We're called to baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And the second part of the verse 20 says, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. We're also called to teach them that not only to get them saved, show them who God is, but we're also called to teach them what his law is, what he's commanded us to do. That way they can follow along with him also and abide by his law and his rule. And the last part of the verse says, and surely, I am with you always to the very end of the age. It's talking about, this is when, God was kind of leaving them. He was saying that I'm surely with you always. Even though I'm not here in flesh and blood on earth anymore, I'm always going to be with you in your heart. I'm always going to be there for you in your time of need and in your struggles and in your strong points and in your highs. And it's also, the very end, it says to the very end of the age. So he's never leaving us. He already went back into heaven, but he's never leaving us in our hearts. He's never going away till the very end of age. That's till he comes back. That's till, the whole world, is changed. So really love those verses. Hopefully y'all did too. Check them out. It's a good proverb of the day. Y'all hit that like, share, subscribe, double tap buttons as usual. If you want to come and see tomorrow, I can't give you a ride because I'm going pretty early. But my boy Jonathan of the DVU out there, he'll be going, I think. And then I can give you directions how to get there if you want to go. So anyway, DVU day 266. That's a wrap. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Come to C20 if you want to have a meeting and an experience with God. Y'all have a good night. Peace out. Sweet dreams. Holla at your boy.